when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. I know that it's the middle of the week and some of us may be feeling a bit tired, a bit run down, but here I am, one of your favorite youth hosts. I'm happy to see your face and I know you're happy to see mine. All right, so welcome to our program this morning here live from Portmore in Scarborough. To our varying viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and 102 on AMPLIA, welcome to you all this morning. Before we start our program this morning, let us head over to news in 90 seconds. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 7th May 2025. In a historic moment for the People's National Movement, Penelope Beckles-Robinson was sworn in as leader of the opposition yesterday, becoming the first woman from the party to hold the post. In her address, Beckles-Robinson congratulated Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and reflected on being her former student. Beckles-Robinson highlighted her journey from humble beginnings to national leadership, aiming to inspire young women. She pledged a constructive, solution-driven opposition. Looking ahead, she committed to rebuilding the PNM over the next 5 years, guided by the founding principles of Dr. Eric Williams. Following a wave of resignations in the PNM, including Stuart Young's departure as chairman, Dr. Nyan Gadsby-Dolly and Colm Inbert were appointed interim chairman and vice chairman respectively after a special general council vote. Gadsby-Dolly narrowly defeated Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen 60-58, while Inbert was elected unopposed. The new leadership team joins Foster Cummings, Camille Robinson-Regis, and Ansel Dennis. Gadsby-Dolly praised the woman's growing political presence and credited former leader Dr. Keith Rowley for mentoring emerging leaders. Internal elections to select a new political leader are expected in the coming weeks. Dismissing hopes for Tobago's development under the current administration, economist Dr. Vanish James believes real change is impossible without constitutional reform. James said Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar lacks awareness of Tobago's issues and TPP MPs David Thomas and Joel Sampson, though elected, hold no cabinet power or influence. He argued that without alignment to the ruling party and strong analytical skills, Tobago's representatives can drive meaningful change. James also criticized the THA Chief Secretary, Farley Augustine, adding that only structural reform will allow Tobagonians to shape their future effectively. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Right, so we're on to everyone's favorite part of the morning, and that is our birthday segment. So who do we have up first? First, we give happy birthday shout out to Mr. Whitfield Turner. Now, Mr. Whitfield Turner, I know him as Brother Turner. Have a happy birthday, and I hope that you enjoy God's blessings to you on this day. Up next, we have Nisha Hercules. Happy birthday to you, Nisha, from the Tobago Updates family, especially the Youth Wednesdays Updates family. To Karen Williams, a happy birthday to you, coming from us here at Tobago Updates and from the Lord himself, the blessings that you receive during this day. I really do hope you enjoy it. And last but not least, Miss Desiree Toby, a happy birthday to you. May that radiant smile continue, and from the Tobago Updates family, I wish you a very happy birthday. So that is all for our birthdays this morning. I just like Miss Desiree, I hope that we have those radiant smiles today for those of you who may have missed our segment this morning to give you that birthday shout out. You know, as I continuously say God's blessings to you, you continued on to another year, you are celebrating life, you are celebrating all the blessings that have come to you thus far. So I really do hope that you enjoy the day. Now to our rundown so that you know what I know is coming up next. First up, we'll have ROCC Day of Prayer, and we'll discuss that with Carlet Groom Matthew, a social worker connected to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Then we'll have Turtle Monitoring Project and Watching Season. Now, I think this is everybody's favorite season. I won't say favorite season, but one of the favorite seasons. We love to see the turtles, they're nesting, they're going to the water, the hatchlings. We love to see everything. So, speaking to us on this Turtle Monitoring Project and Watching Season, we'll have Alajosha Wathke. I hope that I'm not butchering your name. He or she is the CEO. And next we'll have Simba Lion. Now, based on this name, I'm very interested in seeing this segment. Simba Lion will be speaking to us on a bi-monthly seafood boil event. He is an independent music artist and entrepreneur. So we're looking forward to seeing Simba Lion for this segment and all the other segments that are up next. So stay tuned so that we see ROCC Day of Prayer first, and then we continue on to our different interviews today. So to our viewers that are still with us, who are just joining us, especially on our varying platforms, thank you for being here with us, and I ask you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. This morning, for our first interview, we have Carlet Groom Matthew, a social worker connected to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, here to speak to us on a Rock Week of activities started with Rock Day of Prayer. Good morning to you, Mrs. Matthew.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm looking at your smile. That's the reason why I asked, how are you? Because you look so excited to tell them about the week's activities for Rock, right? So let's start off with, tell us a little bit about Rock. Who is Rock?
So, Rock the Island stands for Reclaiming Our Communities from Crime.
Okay.
And we are a group that started out of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And we have a wonderful team of footballers, all police officers, some of whom are trained in coaching. And so we decided what we would do is go into the communities using football as the vehicle.
Okay.
To get the communities acquainted with us, one, and two, to get the conversation started about what is happening with our youth.
Okay.
And so we've been going into the communities, doing football clinics with the kids. We've been having football matches against the communities. And so we've started having that conversation.
Okay. So, I think it's a good initiative. I must add in there. I've heard of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services, their talent in football. Yeah. So we're seeing that they're now taking that talent into the community, especially in a time where we're speaking about the rise in crime, etc.
Right.
So we're seeing that, this initiative will help to curb such a thing,
right.
To bring it down to a level that is, hopefully a level that is non-existent. But as we work on it, there is something that the young children can do. Okay. So what is the aim of the activities that have been outlined for the week?
So when we looked at our boys, since we've started the clinics and stuff and going into the communities, we've recognized more and more that, one, we have a serious literacy issue on the island, and two, we have an issue with our boys. Our boys are being neglected, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
And I think it comes back to the way in which we socialize. Boys are able to run freely. They're not able to express emotions. We want them to sit still. We want them to conform. And so we have a lot of boys who are very talented, very expressive, but academically they aren't scoring so well. And so we decided that we want to celebrate our boys, particularly those who would have completed the SEA examinations. Because, during this period, they have
a little bit of free time.
A lot of free time, one. And two, they are prime targets for the gangs. Because, a little boy carrying a bag of marijuana.
Nobody's going to really pay attention to that.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? So we wanted to pay attention to the boys specifically. And so we came up with a week of activities where we can engage with them, not just them, but their parents, their communities. And we really want men at the forefront this week. We want our men to be actively involved in the week. So we are taking any suggestions, any recommendations. We are open to it, especially from our men.
Okay. All right. So I'll ask this question now because I want to throw in something else later on, right? What ages are you targeting for this series?
Right. So we're targeting 10 to 17. But for some of the activities, we are focusing on the primary school level.
Okay.
So we will have beach football. The beach football is to the primary school. The football clinic on the Sunday, however, is for boys from 4 actually to 17.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that question is because I am hearing that football is your vehicle, as you would have mentioned before.
Right.
What about... So this is my suggestion. There are young boys at the age of, 16 and 17 way high, they're tall up there. So, you know, their focus is basketball. Some of them might be focused on cricket.
Right.
In the future, would there be an opening to introduce other sports that they could take part in?
Actually, yes. So at the football match that we will have on the 18th of May, this Sunday, we will be launching our mentoring academy. And so what we are doing is accepting, we have the registration out now, so we're accepting persons who are of those ages, because we're not just focusing on sport. What we want to ensure, we're looking at the holistic development of these young men. So if you're interested in basketball, that's no problem.
Okay.
We want to ensure that each boy is in a club. And so we can now have conversations with the coaches. We can have conversations with your family, conversations with the schools. We want to ensure that our boys have leadership potential. When scouts come, they can represent themselves and represent well. We want to ensure that they dress well. I am of the belief that every man should have at least one well-tailored suit.
Yes, I am of the belief as well.
Right? So we want our young men to look the part, dress the part, speak the part, to really be able to sell themselves, right? Without having external persons. So in order to do that, you have to excel at academics. And so this is where the mentoring academy would come in. If, for example, you're having issues with math, we would speak with mommy, speak with daddy, see what classes are available, where you can get the support, that sort of thing. Because we want our young men especially to recognize that, yes, you may be interested in music, but there's also the business side to it. You're interested, you're an excellent footballer, but you need to negotiate your contract.
Okay.
You need to be able to read the fine print.
Right.
You need to be able to understand that this may not be the best opportunity for you at this particular time. And so that's what we are looking to achieve.
Okay. I'm going to commend you on the approach that you all are taking, in that you all are fostering this type of mentorship program, as you said.
Right.
Because what I've seen is that young men they're not very excited to speak to a police officer per se.
Right.
But they're seeing a mentor that is coming and helping them through, you know, whatever it is, whatever subject they may need the help in. They're coming to mentor them on football, you know, and then of course you said you'll be introducing some other sports as you all go along with the rock program.
Right.
Right. So I'm commending you all on that approach.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Right. So, so the youths out there, you all are hearing about this program. I hope that you all are listening, because I mean, this is a really good initiative and you all need to be a part of it. So where will the activities be held? I know it's a full week. Let's be clear that the week starts on the 12th and ends on the 18th.
Yes.
So we don't want to miss any day in this week. So I'm going to ask Ms. Scarlett to just tell us about what we can expect, what activities will be held.
Well, we have an action-packed week. We start with a day of prayer. And we started with the day of prayer because we want to ensure that we come back to our roots, right? And that we acknowledge that we are nothing and we can't do nothing without the Creator.
Correct.
So whatever your denomination, we welcome everyone, especially the men. Our men who are the musicians and the worship leaders and the pastors. We want our younger men to see that our men can worship.
Okay.
On the Tuesday, we'll be going to the schools and in the communities, having some serious discussions with the men about, you know, what are some of their challenges, how we can better help the men and the community by large. On Wednesday, we have our beach football clinic, and that's in collaboration with Bago Sports.
Okay.
So it's an introduction to beach football for the boys. And on Thursday, we have a conference for the boys and adults. So we'll be speaking with the boys as well as the adults in their lives. We have team topics. We have ADAP will be coming, alcohol and drug abuse. We have topics on safeguarding, child abuse, that sort of thing. You know, the psychological effects of crime on boys in particular. We're looking at the cost of crime on the family, on the community. And so we will have speakers from a wide variety of organizations in Tobago coming to speak with the boys as well as the parents. Okay. On Friday, to commemorate International Day of the Boy Child, we will be filming a public service announcement with the boys, as well as we'll be having a little concert with them. So we are inviting all parents, one, particularly to come to the conference, and two, to support the boys at the rally. If you have a young man who is talented in the field of music, we welcome them on the Friday. On the Saturday, we have the boys' football, beach football competition for the primary school boys. And might I add that Monday, Thursday, and Friday will be at the Shopper Cultural Complex. Okay. Wednesday and Saturday, we will be at the Colon Beach facility. That's where we'll be having on the Saturday, we'll be having our beach football tournament. Right. And so we'll have giveaways, we'll have prizes, that sort of thing. So we want the communities to come out. It's a day to celebrate the boys. And then on Sunday, all roads lead to the Sid Gray Stadium. We have an action-packed day. We start in the morning. We're collaborating with the Tobago Cricket Association. So they have their 40 overs. It starts at 11 a.m. and it ends at 4 p.m. and then the football starts. We have a double-packed header, action-packed header. We have the Island FC versus the Roxborough Lakers, and then we have FC National, which comprises of the former Soca Warriors. So that would be Sid Gray, Brent Sancho, Stern John. I'm not sure if Mr. Latterby would be a part of the activities on Sunday, but it is rumored that he would be coming. And they would be facing off Sidees Football Club. Okay. So we also have our football clinic, which takes place in collaboration with FC National, and that would take place at the Roxborough Police Youth Club. And we start promptly at 3 because, you know, we want to ensure that the kids are well seasoned in the football, they're trained and everything, and so they can come over to the Sid Gray Sporting Complex. We'll have bouncy castles there, we'll have some excitement there for the kids as well. So it's a family day. We welcome all members of the East, the West, everybody in Tobago to jump on this train and support our boys. We are really hoping that we come out as a community for the boys for this week.
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing that, you know, you're trying to remember all of the activities that have to take part during the week. And I'm thinking, you know, because there are so many activities, so much excitement in this, that you're just trying to put everything out there so that the boys can know what they're looking forward to. Yeah, so that's okay. Even if you're stuck, you got the information across. We know that the rock week will just be great, right?
It will,
right? And then we have such a big day to look forward to on this Sunday, you know. You mentioned the past Soca Warriors. You mentioned Sid Gray himself. You mentioned there might be a sighting of Russell Latterby. I mean, boys, you have so much to look forward to. And, you know, normally, I mean, I'm not putting down what we do for young ladies, but boys, this is just for you. This entire program is focused on you. So you are encouraged to come out, you know, come with your numbers, come with your team, come with your backing, come with everything.
Yes,
you know, the TTPS is looking forward to having you there with them. All right. So let's get into what they need to work with for registration and where they could find more information.
So we have started an online registration process. It does not mean that you can't come on the day to be registered.
Okay.
But for a seamless process in terms of ensuring that we cater to everyone, especially in terms of their dietary needs, we want to ensure that persons are registered prior to the activities. So if persons are interested, they can send a WhatsApp to 494-8616. That is 494-8616 for more information, and they would get the registration forms. We've also started sending out emails to the schools, as well as to the parents who would have attended, whose children would have attended some of the clinics that we've held. So we've sent out invitations to them. So if persons are interested, and they can also tune into your page, your Facebook page as well.
Tobago Updates Facebook page. Just putting that out there. Tobago Updates Facebook page.
Yes. And remember to share the link, share the link, share the link.
Oh, so she ended my segment right there for me. Right, so Mrs. Scarlett, thank you so much for being with us here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Update. This was Miss Scarlett Groom Matthew of the TTPS. She is a social worker, and she is geared toward May 12th to 18th Boys Week, right? So she's expecting all the boys from everywhere to come out to take part in this activity that has been made just for you. For registration, you could call 494-8616. I hope I got that number correct.
You did. WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yes.
Ensure to WhatsApp. She's not taking calls. She's taking WhatsApps. She wants to send you that registration link so that you can get registered, so that you can be a part of this week and maybe see Russell Latopi on Sunday. I'm just going to stress that part. All right.
As well as Avery John, and a lot of other soca work.
You see that? She's still trying to put in information for you to realize that this week is just for you. This week is filled with too much activities that you have to miss out. Do not miss out this week. This week is for you. And of course, we love to see those pictures go up for International Day of the Boy Child. So, feel free to send in those pictures. On Friday, you may see your picture just to start off Miss Scarlett's week that starts from the Monday. All right, so viewers, thank you so much for joining us. And before we go, two things. One, Miss Scarlett is asking you to share the link, share the link, share the link. And I am asking you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back. Next up, we'll have Turtle Monitoring Project and Watching Season. We'll be right back.
Tobago, a land of beauty, resilience, and boundless potential. But to secure its future, we need men to stand strong against crime and choose a brighter path.
Our island's greatest strength is our people, our resilience, our creativity, and our unity. Crime threatens our future, but together we can overcome it. By investing in our youth and celebrating our culture, we can actually build a Tobago that we are all proud of.
Up, 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 up! Get ready, get ready! When I was their age, I learned the value of discipline. It's not about talent alone, it's about making the right choices every day.
I serve to protect, but the real heroes are the men who lead by example. By guiding the next generation to live with respect and integrity. Come on, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys. Come on, guys, come on, guys.
Almost everything inside here tells a story. Even this building we in here tells a story. Good? Our stories shape us. Let's write stories of strength, hope, and unity, not violence and regret.
Music is a powerful tool. It brings people together, heals hearts, and inspires change. Let's use our voices, our rhythm, our passion to help make Tobago a safer place for everyone.
We want to grow up in a Tobago where we feel safe, where we can dream big and achieve more. Let's do all that we can to make that possible.
Every choice you make builds your legacy. Be the man your community needs. Say no to crime and yes to a brighter Tobago. Together, we can reclaim our communities.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
We're back here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. Of course, we're going into a segment that I think a lot of you should be viewing right now. Now, we just learned about Rock Week, and we know that what we're seeing on our beaches while we walk, while we pass by, we're seeing that turtles are coming up to our shores. And you know, it's a very exciting time. It's very fun to look at them. Need I say educational sometimes? You learn a lot by just looking on. This morning we have with us Alyosha Vodke. He is the CEO of Turtle Monitoring Project and Watching Season. So I just want to introduce you to him. Good morning to you, Mr. Vodke.
Wonderful good morning from Germany. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us all the way from Germany.
Okay, so just to mention, I'm the CEO of the Environmental Research Institute in Charlottesville, right? We are amongst other things, conducting that turtle monitoring project, which is funded by the Green Fund, the National Environmental Fund of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are focusing really on the male turtles that we normally don't see on the beaches. The normal turtle monitoring programs really focus on the hatchlings and the mothers obviously laying eggs. That is when data are taken. However, we are focusing on underwater monitoring. We developed specific programs to identify turtles underwater to assess whether they are sick, whether they are stationary, or whether they are or local residents, or whether they are traveling throughout the Caribbean. So we want to see how do turtles behave and what is their biology when we see them underwater.
What is the advantage of observing these turtles underwater? Now, I know you mentioned that we could see, monitor how their processes as they float through the Caribbean, etc., etc. What are the advantages of knowing this information to gear toward our turtle nesting here in Tobago?
Well, the first thing is really that for the first time, we can get data on male turtles, because male turtles never come on the beach anymore. A male turtle hatches from the egg, walks down that little piece of beach until it hits the water. And if it's lucky enough to survive, it will survive for its entire life in the ocean. It will never come back on land anymore. So we have really very limited data on our male turtle population. And obviously, we need males and females to maintain our population. We had a similar survey in 2017, and now we want to see whether we get a decline, or we get more healthier, or we get an increase in disease. How did sargassum affect, or did any environmental factors like sargassum or climate change affect the turtle population? So the big advantage right now is that we're seeing turtles in their natural environment where they spend 99% of their time, the
life,
females
yeah.
and 100% of the males.
Okay. All right. So I know you mentioned climate change, and how this may affect the male turtle, being that they spend the majority of their time in the sea. What about the human impact on their population? What hazard should we avoid? Should we enter the sea and see a male turtle, if we could identify that male turtle? What hazard should we avoid as humans on the impact of this population?
Well, the most important thing is really that everybody should adhere to the environmental standards that we all would like to set. Avoid littering. Don't put any plastic in the ocean, in the rivers, because turtles might accidentally or mix up plastic pieces with food, and they get serious tummy problems. They get that congested, and they might die from it. Any kind of pollution, water pollution, is a problem, but also the poaching of turtles, which is illegal in Trinidad and Tobago and has very high fines, should be stopped. So we should really rethink the approach regarding eating turtle meat. These are animals that are globally threatened for extinction. So it is against the local law. It is against the international conventions, and you could say it's also not really good to wipe out a part of God's creation from the planet.
Yes.
So turtle poaching, eating the eggs, etc., is something people should abstain from, and try not to litter. That is most important. And when you see a turtle on the beach or in the water, observe but don't disturb.
Oh, so I want to get straight into that, right? So we know a lot of people love to watch turtles nest. They love to see, those giant creatures. They always stress on how big turtles can get, So what are some of the guidelines that viewers should follow so that they don't interfere with the process of the hatching?
Well, it starts really with egg laying. So the most important part is that if a turtle comes on a beach, then you should not disturb the mother turtle when it is about to lay. This is a laborious undertaking, as any birth giving is. So we should have the respect for that animal and not disturb her. Turtle observations, when you should really, if somebody wants to see turtles specifically, they should go through one of the turtle groups that are in Tobago and offer turtle tours. And these tour guides, well-educated and trained tour guides, will point out how to behave and how to respect the turtles. So interrupting a turtle while it's laying or even sitting on it is definitely an absolute no-no. Similar now, coming to the hatching, when hatchlings are unfortunately disturbed, like the mothers, by light. The mothers are disturbed when you point a bright torchlight on them, as same as the hatchlings. The hatchlings will not find the water anymore. So bright lights in turtle hatching areas are normally not allowed or should be restricted. I remember when there were still bright lights in Bloody Bay Beach facility, and all the turtle babies run in the wrong direction and were all over the place on the facility instead of going into the ocean. So as with any wild animal, it is very important to have the respect, to keep a distance. However, observe, because it's a beautiful thing to see. We do not know whether our children can see this again. That is something very special that many people from all over the world come to the Caribbean to see. So we should cherish what we have.
How far should I stand if a turtle is nesting? Because I see a lot of people, they go really close. You're speaking about how the bright light would affect the turtle hatching process especially. How far should I stand? Because I see a lot of people on videos, they would shine the bright light directly on the turtle while they are laying and stuff like that. So how far should I stand back while this process is ongoing?
Well, in principle, if you are encountering a turtle, you should definitely be something like 15 feet, 5 meters away. You should not make any noise. You should definitely not shine any bright lights. when you are with a tour guide, those tour guides, there is a very small window where you can get a bit closer, but that is always to be observed with a trained turtle tour guide, and they will use red light, red torch lights. So that red light does not disturb the turtles; they cannot see it. Yeah, at least 15, 20 feet away, and that's okay. Just imagine yourself, I mean, only half our population, but if somebody who gives birth does not like people to watch them right over the shoulder. I guess, right? So they should have respect.
Yes. So the same should be given to the turtles. Now, what are some of the disadvantages of not obeying these guidelines? Because obviously with action comes consequence. So what are some of the disadvantages? What are some of the consequences of not adhering to these guidelines when it comes to turtle watching and observation?
Well, even the disturbing or interfering with a turtle is already protected under the law, so it's a legal issue. But every time the turtles are already under a lot of stress from many other factors, whether it's climate change, because the temperature in the sand changes, and then their breeding, the egg hatching and development changes. They are threatened by poor water quality, pollution, plastic pollution, and liquid pollution. They are threatened by poaching, as we said. So we are at risk. And this is why these turtles, we are at risk of losing those turtles altogether, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but for the planet. So the consequence would be that, yet again, humankind would be responsible for another beautiful creature of God's creation would vanish from this earth. And I don't think that is right. So I think rather than appealing to the laws, I think it's appealing to the respect of our citizens and turtle and nature lovers for those creatures.
Okay. So what are the times that you suggest we should go and observe turtles, whether they be nesting or building their nest? What are some of the times that you suggest we should actually go to view that?
Definitely, I would suggest that the only right way to encounter these turtles should be through one of those organizations, because just going and seeing is only half of the edutainment, because the turtle groups that are existing in Tobago and many of the tour guides that are very knowledgeable, they can enrich the experience of watching a turtle and observing turtles, but through so much information can make it so much more interesting for the entire family and for the kids. And they would advise on what beach at what time is the best time to go. I also would be a bit careful with some remote beaches that are known for turtles, but once they're known for turtles, they're also known by poachers. And poachers don't like to see people disturbing their activities. So going on a beach in the middle of the night on your own or as a couple and just trying to find turtles might be a dangerous activity, because you might disturb a criminal activity. So I think any turtle watching should be handled in a professional manner through those groups. They are not charging a lot of money, but actually you're supporting turtle protection by supporting the groups, and you can learn something. And then I think that is important. Just watching something is only half the fun. Right?
All right. So Mr. Vothke is reminding us that we can be edutained. I love that little, mesh that you did there. Education and entertainment all in one. I mean, looking at turtles is very entertaining and it can be very educational to you. And I want to thank Mr. Vothke so much for joining with us this morning to just give us that education that we really do need while being entertained by turtles. A lot of us are not aware of of the things that we are not supposed to do that may harm the process, things like sitting on the turtle. I saw a social media post recently where bright lights are being used to guide turtle hatchlings and these type of things. I think, Could we pay attention to the guidelines so that what we enjoy looking at is a continuous process that our children and our children's children can see, right? So the viewers that are with us, this was Mr. Votke. He was here to just give us some information on turtle monitoring, on the turtle monitoring project and watching season. So Mr. Votke, thank you so much for joining us here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. And to our viewers, continue to stay with us and share the live, share the live, share the live. Now, before I go, there is the picture of the day coming all the way from a picturesque beach. I want you all to tell me what beach that is, and I will reveal the answer at the end. This is a bit hard, because I know the majority of beaches in Tobago are very much picturesque and they have lovely waters and bright lights and everything. But I want you to guess, just guess. And in light of talking about turtles and stuff like that, I gave you a little hint there. So could you guess that beach for me? And at the end of our last segment, I'll tell you what beach it is, right? So to our viewers who are still with us, continue to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
The buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. This morning we are at our last interview, but very much exciting interview, as the interviewee is very excited to have to tell you about this upcoming entrepreneurship seafood boil. We're going to speak about food. And that is why I'm lost for words, because we're going to speak about food. So this morning, let me just welcome Simba Lion to our studio this morning.
Morning, Tobago.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lion. All right, so my first question, very curious question. This question is for you and not necessarily for the viewers. Where did the name Simba Lion come from?
All right, so Simba Lion. First name, Masimba George.
Okay.
So most people call me Simba for short. And then when I started the music years ago, my character, my animal character seems to be a lion. You have nothing to do with the horoscope, you know. So Simba, lion. And I walk the life as a lion, so.
You are Simba Lion.
I'm Simba Lion.
Right. So Simba Lion is here to tell us about his seafood boil. Now, this is it's an entrepreneurship path that he is taking. You know, I mean, he has other ventures, but he wants to speak to you specifically about his seafood boil sale, right? So first up, we're going to get into how do I order this seafood boil?
All right. So once I doing it, normally I does it either once a week or twice in a month, right? So what I do, when I do it, I put up the flyer with the contact number, and we do directly by orders. So we don't do come at the venue and pick up, I want a seafood boil. You have to call, place your order via the WhatsApp, and then you come and you pick up the order when it open.
What are some of the things that are included in the seafood boil? Because, I mean, everybody's seafood boil might be different in ingredients. And then we're seeing two prices that are being highlighted on the screen, 100 and 150. So what sets the standard price of $100 aside from the 150 premium price that buyers can use?
Yeah. Well, the 150, the only difference between 150 and the $100 is the amount you're going to get, for example, with the shrimp and the mussels. The entire seafood boil, this is like the most basic seafood boil for this. This is the least price. There is a price that goes 400, 300 when you include shrimp and crab, for example. Not shrimp, sorry, lobster. So the basic seafood boil I have is the shrimp, mussels, we have sausage, egg, corn, potato, and the sauce. Right. So the 150 comes with like 5 jumbo shrimps, 3 jumbo mussels as well, 2 egg, potato, corn, and the sausage. I tend to, how to say, full up your box with the sausage, you know. Yeah, I sometimes just do about 3 different sausage, you know, and mix them up and put it in the box all together. And the 100 box is like, instead of you get 2 egg, you get 1 egg with your seafood. Instead of you get 5 shrimp, I think you get like 4 and 2 mussels and all the other stuff in the box as well. So it's just basically a little bit, because seafood is an expensive dish.
Yes,
so I just want to say that.
So I've heard that it is very expensive.
Yeah.
Right. So is it the first time you're doing this venture?
First time doing the seafood.
Okay.
Yes, first time.
So you're saying that you are a well qualified chef, but now you are trying your hand. Simba Lion is trying his hand at seafood boil, and he's very excited to give you those dishes for $100 and $150. Now he's asking you to call a number to order. What is the number? 398-3950. As you can see on the screen, this Saturday, we have the seafood boil this Saturday from 6 p.m. in the afternoon. So like as from today, I will put up the flyer as well, and then it would be open to the public to place the order via the WhatsApp. Yeah. Okay, and where is pickup?
Pickup is in Susulands at Poolside Apartments. Nightingale Avenue, Susulands. I mean, those who are familiar with Poolside Apartments, which is also next business of mine that I do with my wife. So there is Poolside Apartment, I cook home, and people come right there and pick up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the things on the menu. Should I want to alter my menu?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
Is it free of charge or do I have to pay extra?
When you alternate it, if you add in more, is more, obviously. If you say you don't want, some people say they don't like the mussels, but they want $100 portion. You would get $100 portion. I would just fill up the box with probably potato, extra corn, maybe extra egg. But that's how I do it normally. The extra people does do, sometimes they call and they say they want lobster. So then that is a whole different menu. The lobster and crab added to the seafood broil, that is $400 for this menu. But yeah.
Okay, so what sparked the idea of going into this venture of seafood? Well, not seafood boil all entirely, but what sparked your entrepreneurship venture into cooking?
I would say is a lot to do with a lot of my friends, and I've been cooking over the years for friends, whether it be birthday, my birthday, them birthday, and no matter what I cook, they seem to like, and they've been telling me, Simba, you should be cooking and selling. And I went through the process, get the food badge, and I've been doing it home for the last 2 years. But I started with like crab and dumpling. I did soup already. So it's just the seafood broil. I just decided to bring it more to the light, you know, because I guess the TikTok, it was being shown plenty on the TikTok, all in America, in Trinidad. And then one time I said, let me try this seafood broil and see if I could master it. And I did. I did.
All right. So we getting to see the master chef, master seafood boil chef at work. You know, what day would you be doing the seafood boil well, I don't want to say giveaway, sale?
Saturday.
You will be doing it this Saturday coming?
Yeah, this Saturday.
All right. So viewers, you heard it here first on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. This Saturday, you can contact Simba Lion on the number shown on your screen to get your seafood boil. You heard it here that he is a master chef. He has mastered the seafood boil dish and he is ready to serve. Okay? So viewers, if you are interested in your seafood boil this Saturday, please don't hesitate to call Simba Lion for your dish. All right, so Mr. Simba Lion, thank you so much for joining us here on Tobago Updates. Yes. It was a pleasure having you.
Likewise.
Yes, it was a pleasure hearing about your different dishes that you have mastered over the years. And I think our viewers are looking forward to ordering from you on Saturday. You know, I'm really stressing on ordering from Simba Lion on Saturday.
Yes.
You know, what he has to offer is a lot, as he has told you, for $100 and $150. Get your monies and order up. Simba Lion is ready to serve. All right, so thank you once again for joining us. Yeah. Viewers, if you are still with us, and for those who may just be joining, share the live, share the live, share the live. We take a small break. We'll be right back.
to Tobago Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but I have the cousin Tufina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me pick me them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trade Springer down by the page down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people, them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trade Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. Of course, we continue on that food journey. We started off with a seafood broil for Mr. Simba Lion, and now we get into the dessert section of it all. Now, coming to you from the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, we have Jordan Richards and Nisha Macmillan. They are students, but for the night that we'll be speaking about, one will be your sous chef and the other will be your dessert chef. So, you know, my ears are peaked. My mind is ready to receive this information from THTI because we are about to speak about desserts and we're about to speak about food. Right, so this is a very important topic for me, especially.
Yes.
So I just want to welcome Nisha and Jordan to set today.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Now let's speak about the event that THTI will be having. Could you tell us the date and time of the event so I get ready?
So the date is the Sunday, the 18th of May. The time is from 5 to 8 p.m. So it's more of an evening event.
All right, and where do I go to attend this event?
So it's up at THTI in Blemon, Mount St. George, Tobago.
The title of this event is Hidden Fun Tasties.
Yes.
Where did this title come about?
So we wanted to bring something new to the, masquerade ball. So we'll be having different finger foods
live entertainment, beverages, and these kind of elements to our event.
So how do we dress to attend this masquerade ball that would include hidden fun tasties?
So it's a semi-formal black and white. So you want to dress up, you want to wear your white dress, your black dress. If your partner is wearing black, you could wear white, mix it up. It's going to be a great event.
All right. So I tried to pick them out before this interview, but they are really, really stressing on that hidden part of it. However, they told me that they could brief me a little bit on the desserts that we can look forward to. So what are some of the things that we can look forward to from Hidden Fun Tasties?
Right, so we have desserts such as the ambrosial elixir and the dulce nocturne brownies. I wouldn't disclose the ingredients because we want to keep that hidden aspect to the event. We also have other finger foods such as the hidden jewels and so on. And we also have paired beverages to complement each dish.
All right. And in order to enjoy these, of course, we must know how we can, what amount of money we must work with. Because, I mean, these things are something expensive.
Yes.
Right? So how much would I need to work with to pay at the door to enter?
Well, it's not at the door. So you can call beforehand, either myself or my head chef. But the price for the event is $400.
All right. $400 for a night of
hidden fantasties.
Hidden Fantasties. I am very I'm intrigued in this event. All right. So is there a couple price? Do I pay, or everybody has to pay that $400?
Yes, everyone has to pay the $400, unfortunately, but it's fortunately for us.
I mean, it's fortunate for you because we want to get that fun aspect out of it. We want to get that how to put it, that's
wow factor.
That wow, thank you. That wow factor. You see why she's the dessert chef? I'm smiling right now, right? And I think a lot of our viewers are looking forward to this event now at THTI. We want to see what the fun tasties include, right? And I myself, don't be surprised if you see my face, okay? Right? I'm coming to taste your desserts. I mean, you all are just students, but you all are budding students.
Yes.
Their lecturer is also here with them this morning, and I mean, he might not be on screen, but the excitement is felt from the background. He is rooting them on, and as youths growing up in this field, I encourage you to pursue your dreams. Okay, because I need to eat. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. But just move to be successful, right? So let's just go through the details before we end. It's THTI. You all are cordially inviting the public to your event that is Hidden Fun Tasties at the Top O Mill Restaurant in Blenheim, Mount St. George, Tobago. It takes place from 5 to 8 p.m. on Sunday, 18th May 2025. The dress code is semi-formal, black and white. Jordan told me that if I am in black, my partner is wearing white. I'm just going to put that in there. And the phone numbers to call would be their phone numbers. I'll ask them to repeat them for you while it's on the screen. Jordan, you could go first.
So my number is 374-8238.
Or you can also message or also call the head chef, which is at 681-2880.
All right. So this was Nisha Macmillan and Jordan Richard. I did not want to get your name wrong because when they taste those desserts, they know who to call.
Yes.
Right? So that's Nisha Macmillan and Jordan Richards here to speak to us about a very affordable $400 Hidden Fun Tasties event that we can all look forward to on Sunday, the 18th of May, 2025. So thank you so much, students, I would say, but chefs in the future for joining us here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. Viewers, I know you are still with us, and I encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live. Next up, we have Good Morning Tobago with Miss Chanel Felix.
and Tobago, the Tobago House of Assembly is preparing for the 2026 budget and the schools are back in session. All this and more in this week's episode of 116. Let's go.
One, six. Beautiful island.
Chief Secretary of Tobago, the Honorable Farley Augustine, attended the swearing-in ceremony of the 9th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Visesa, which was held at the President's house in Trinidad. Also in attendance were the newly elected MPs for Tobago East and West, David Thomas and Joel Sampson, respectively. In preparation for the 2026 fiscal budget, the Tobago House of Assembly is encouraging the members of the public and the stakeholders to give their recommendations, feedback, suggestions to make an informed decision in the best interest of Tobagonians. You can do so by scanning the QR code on screen and forwarding your recommendations there. For more information, you can visit the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy's Facebook page. Students and teachers across Tobago returned to school on April 29th with fresh energy and focus. The Division of Education, Research and Technology encouraged everyone to finish strong in this final leg of the academic year. 4-H Tobago, in collaboration with the FAO and the 4-H National Council, installed 3 hydroponic systems at schools across Tobago: Scarborough Secondary, Roxborough Secondary, and the Little Joe's ECCE. This aims to promote food sustainability on the island. The public has been advised that during the closed hunting season, the sale of orange-winged parrots is illegal. Under the Conservation of Wildlife Act, possession of young or juvenile parrots may result in a fine of up to $100,000. Individuals selling these birds are urged to stop immediately and comply with the law.
Well, for me is don't play the thing with the 2 long ears. I think most Tobagonians know what that means. Yeah.
Repeat in the day, produce body pay, and look for in the night. Something so. Yeah.
Right? When you see goat with its half rope, let it hang. That is one of our sayings in Tobago. That when we speak about someone, when you see somebody in trouble and they don't want to help themselves, leave them where you see them, do not pick them up.
Sayings that Tobagonians supposed to know is one, me knock my titty and my titty knock my back. You're supposed to know what that is. And me and he or me and she cocoa na soak. You understand? Tobago.
And that's for this week's episode of 116. If you've missed any of our episodes, you can catch them all on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and we also have a WhatsApp channel. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, and I'll catch you in our next episode.
One, six. Beautiful island.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
here to mainly focus on diseases of cocoa. Black pod and witch's broom are currently in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to give some sensitization about frosty pod, which is a disease that's in the region that could have devastating impacts to the cocoa industry. The reason why these are so problematic, they affect the economic part. It doesn't necessarily kill the tree, but it makes the farmers feel less productive.
Today, the focus is on identifying the diseases of cocoa towards rehabilitation and restoration of the cocoa. So, as you know, we have one of the finest cocoa in Trinidad and Tobago, and we don't want to lose that genetic stock, and therefore this particular training today is for that.
I believe it's important to renew your information and to be up to date with what is taking place. And we learned that the frosty pod disease is just in our neighboring Venezuela, so we have to be on the lookout for that particular disease and to know what to do in the event that it gets here.
So this workshop or training will help facilitate, refreshing the knowledge that officers have and putting things in place so we can get these cocoa seeds back up and running, back up at production, optimal production at that.
Is looking at conserving biodiversity and taking on agroecological practices to now look at the agricultural landscape and see how we could better the landscape using that. So the bi-reach is really for the landscape, the productive landscapes of Trinidad and Tobago.
I think it's a good idea that the different agencies come on board with the division and with the ministry by extension. Because the ministry cannot do it all alone, so these agencies will help bring information to us extension officers and our wider farmers in Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. In a historic moment for the People's National Movement, Penelope Beckles-Robinson was sworn in as leader of the opposition yesterday, becoming the first woman from the party to hold the post. In her address, Beckles-Robinson congratulated Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and reflected on being her former student. Beckles-Robinson highlighted her journey from humble beginnings to a national leader, aiming to inspire young women. She pleaded She pledged a constructive, solution-driven opposition. Looking ahead, she committed to rebuilding the People's National Movement over the next 5 years, guided by foundational principles of Dr. Eric Williams. Additionally, following a wave of resignations in the PNM, including Stuart Young's departure as chairman, Dr. Nyan Gaspi-Dolly and Colin Imbert were appointed interim chairman and vice chairman respectively after a special general council vote. Gaspi-Dolly narrowly defeated the Port of Spain Mayor Chinawa Allen 60-58, while Imbert was elected unopposed. The new leadership team joins Foster Cummings, Camille Robinson-Regis, and Ansel Dennis. Gaspi-Dolly praised women's growing political presence and credited former leader Dr. Keith Rowley for mentoring emerging leaders. Internal elections to select a political leader are expected in the upcoming weeks. And finally, dismissing hopes for Tobago's development under the current administration, economist Dr. Vanessa James believes real change is impossible without constitutional reform. James said Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar lacks awareness of Tobago's issues. The TPP MPs David Thomas and Joel Sampson, though elected, hold no cabinet power or influence. He argued that without alignment to the ruling party and strong analytical skills, Tobago's representatives cannot drive meaningful change. James also criticized the THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, adding that only structural reform will allow Tobagonians to shape their future effectively. And that was on News in 90 Seconds. Guys, I want to remind you that Tobago Updates is taking care of mothers this Mother's Day. What does that mean? It means that we are giving you the opportunity to win one of 2 exclusive prizes that has to do with a partnership happening with the Mantle Lodge Hotel. So what is happening exactly? It means that there's an official giveaway for a Mommy and Me getaway on Sunday that is going to be given by Tobago Updates and Mantle Lodge Hotel. So it's going to be a brunch for 2 at the Mantle Lodge Hotel. And in order to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is comment and tag a mom or a mother figure that you love that you want to bring to brunch. That means you're going to use the hashtag Mantle Lodge Moms or Mom and Me Tobago Updates, and each tag counts as 1 entry. That means that you can enter as much times as you want, but you can only win 1 time. And the announcement for the winner will be made this Friday, May 9th. And winners are given 1 day, 24 hours to respond, and if not, well, we're just going to have to give your prize to someone else. But that's not all. We're also partnering with the Magdalena Grand Hotel. And that means that you and Mom, if you don't want to go all the way up to Speyside, you have the ability to win that prize for Mom and Me at the Magdalena Grand Hotel. And the same rules apply. You have to follow all the Tobago Updates social media channels. That means you're following us on YouTube and on our 2 pages on Facebook. That's Tobago Updates Television and Tobago Updates. And you are going to use the hashtag Magdalena Brunch with Mom or Tobago Updates Television. That's what you're going to do in order to win these prizes. Now, you're going to check on our Facebook pages and you'll see these instructions right here, and you'll be able to follow and enter for a chance to win. And again, remember, you have 24 hours to respond. So if you don't respond, that prize may just simply go to someone else, and we don't want that. But guys, this morning we want to continue our discussions as we start off talking about what's happening in sports. And sports particularly, we're talking about swimming. This morning we're talking about the Tobago YMCA Aqua Warriors. And to have that conversation with me in studio this morning, I have John Prokop, a swimmer, as well as Coach Mosey Dinoon. And I have someone else joining me this morning, Antonio Jordan. It's nice to have you this morning. So guys, tell us a bit, catch us up on what has been happening as it relates to swimming in Tobago.
Well, we're the Aqua Warriors swim team, so I would like to hand it over to Coach Mosey to start.
All right, no problem.
So what we came to talk about was the Subway Maracas Open Water Swim Classic. So we had 3 participants that went down to participate in this competition. And in the competition, they had 3 categories that we participated in. They had the 5K open water swim, the 3K open water swim. And, well, there's a 1K, but we didn't do that one. So Mr. John Prokop, he participated in the 5K open water swim. He came 10th overall in that race, and he won his age category. The other participant, Miss Rochelle Pay, who's not here today, she came 6th overall in the 5K race, and she won her age category as well. So we have these wonderful trophies in front of us that showcase the talent that we went to the swim meet. And then Mr. Jordan, who's sitting down here next to me, this was his first debut in the open water type of event. He's more pool racer, but he tried his hand in the open water event, and he came 15th in that 3K race. You know, that's the superstars there, you know.
Excellent. And this is one of many tournaments that you guys participate in. Are there any tournaments that are happening before the end of the year that we can look forward to the participation of the Afro Warriors in?
So many things. So next we have upon coming is the Long Course Championships that Ornella Walker will be taking part in, and myself will participate in that. After that, we have the National Short Course Championships, where Mr. Jordan here and others are going to try to make the national swim team. Other than that, we have the YMCA Invitational that we have a lot of teams are really excited to come to Tobago, because there's the one swim meet that it's a stamp on the calendar, the Swimming Association calendar, that they come to Tobago to participate in. Last year we had over 300 athletes participating in that event, and we're hoping for more. In November we have Short Course Championships, and then in December we have Invitational Championships, which is the national qualifier for all national teams for the upcoming year.
Excellent. And I'm guessing most of the younger swimmers, do they come from those students that are swimming? How do young persons really get involved in swimming in Tobago?
So at the YMCA, at the Tobago YMCA, we have a Children Learn to Swim program. And that Learn to Swim program is more like where we foster the athletes, their skills, hone their skills, and then after they come onto the swim team, where Coach Rochelle and myself are the head coaches of that swim team, and we train athletes like Mr. Jordan and Mr. Prokop here to go and do well in competition, you know. I hope that you guys could talk about the experience at the open water swim.
I guess, Jordan, for you, open water as opposed to swimming in the pool. Have you been practicing for open water swimming, or were you just specifically using the pool for a while?
For me, I don't really have much experience in the open water training as compared to pool training.
All right. And so how was that experience for you making that transition? How was it?
It was a bit challenging, but I overcame it.
I mean, and clearly you still did well in the competition. So do you plan to do more open water training? Or do you think you just want to stick to the pool?
I think I'll still give it a try.
Okay. And do you see yourself possibly going off to the Olympics? What are some of your goals as it pertains to swimming?
Yes. First off, I would like to try out to make the national team in swimming before I go into the Olympic team.
Excellent. And Mr. Prokop, we know you to have some experience in the area of swimming. You know, we very familiar face, right? And you continue to do it even as you're getting older. How important is it for you to work along with the younger kids, even while you all are at the YMCA, and trying to transfer that knowledge as well, just being in the environment with the youth?
Well, it is a great environment to be in, and a lot of people wonder why we get up at 4:20 in the morning and get into the pool by 5 a.m. And it's because we have a really great atmosphere. which is fostered by Coach Mosey and Coach Rochelle, and the entire team really come together as a family. So you really want to go. You want to show that you can be on time and you can be reliable, and everyone wants to show the amount of discipline that they're bringing to training. So it's something that we really enjoy, and we really feel part of a group, a tribe, you know.
And for you, how is it when you make these huge leaps, like, you know, swimming from Trinidad to Tobago and then doing these meets? How is it for you? Is it challenging when you see that it's basically like a different ball game, very competitive? How is that for you?
Well, I really love transitioning from the pool to the sea. And a lot of people would say that, you know, if you are a sprinter, you're a sprinter. And if you're long distance, well, that's your thing. But I enjoy both. I enjoy all of the disciplines, all of the strokes, and all of the various events. I find that the long distance swimming helps me with my technique. And I find that I still enjoy doing my sprinting as well. So it makes me more of an all-round swimmer. I learn more about how to adjust my body position in the water just by doing different strokes. And so each stroke teaches you how to do your other strokes better. You know, so for me, it's all one big adventure. You know, getting better in the various disciplines, and trying to go fast, and at the same time trying to endure.
Right. And I see you wearing that gold medal for placing first within that category. Is it the 45 to 49 age group? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, 45 to 49 age group is surprisingly competitive. This is the people who are trying to show that they've still got it.
Right.
So I'm very, very proud to have placed so well in my age group. And it was a tough swim. You know, open water, you have to be careful when you start because there's a lot of arms and legs going in the water, and you have to watch out for collisions. But all in all, it was incredibly enjoyable, and yeah, I think we all had a great time.
Similar to the question I asked Jordan, what are some of your goals? I mean, you have accomplished some big ones before, but what are some of your goals as it pertains to swimming here in Tobago, or just on a whole?
I would say that my main goal is to be a part of encouraging more and more people to learn to swim. And I would love to see swimming become a part of the school curriculum, both at the primary school and the secondary school level. I'd like to see more people learning to swim and more people developing a relationship with the marine environment. And I think also when it comes to personal goals, I just want to keep showing up at training on time and going to competitions and seeing what the next adventure holds. I think there's a hope that we can do a little bit of a swim around Tobago, but I would like Mr. Jordan and our coaches to join us, even if it's just in a relay format. But we'll see about that.
Okay, sounds interesting. And Coach, how important is it for you and for the sport of swimming here on the island of Tobago to get that investment that is needed? And what do you think are some of the areas that are lacking as it pertains to helping to develop the athletes and the sport?
So what I would kind of piggyback on is what Mr. Prokop said with regards to helping get it into the curriculum, because a lot of the, I don't say issues, but a lot of what we're seeing is people starting to learn to swim a little too late. Now, we have some adults in our adult learn to swim program at the pool. Adults, please remember you can still learn to swim no matter the age. But with it being part of the school curriculum, then we get to start them from early. And it's not just a hobby, it's actually a life skill that we would like to learn. So that support that we could get from just getting it into the school program, getting support from like the business groups to buy into the YMCA Learn to Swim programs to kind of help cut down on that overall cost, so we can now teach the masses to swim. Because a lot of people think just because we're an island that everybody just automatically knows how to swim. But there are some who have that fear, and when you have that fear, the best place to learn is in a controlled environment, which is why we have the pool facility, have these pool programs to kind of help foster that, get over that fear. Because, you know, you don't want to just be stuck doing land activities. You can go scuba diving, you can go on a cruise ship, you know, you can do all these things, but you do have to learn to get over that fear, and that is what we help at the YMCA, you know, and the support from all parties, businesses, the government, everybody, if they can buy into the pool, that would be great. Once we have that support, swimming can go miles ahead.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time. I'm going to say congratulations to you and your team for doing such a great job at that recent swim meet that took place at Maracas, right? Is there anything that you want to let the people of Tobago know as it pertains to swimming or the competition? Anybody that you want to say thank you to right before we end this discussion this morning?
Well, we'd like to shout out all of our team members on the Aqua Warriors swim team. And I'm sorry that Coach Rochelle couldn't make it this morning, but she's busy and she would have loved to have been here. So hopefully the next time she can join us, and some of our other swimmers may be able to come along as well. We're looking forward to what's coming in the future, and we're very positive and very optimistic about it.
Excellent. Well, guys, that was it as it pertains to sport this morning. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversation after this. See you soon.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49SWIFT 4979438.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam. You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As you know, we have been having a bit of a post-mortem on the general election, so we have been having a number of conversations with a number of persons as it pertains to the result of that general election that took place last Monday. This morning, I have the privilege of sitting in studio with the political leader of the UTP. We have Nkosi Philip, as well as Vernisha Cruikshank, right? And she is a public and international relations officer. Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, for some persons, they would say that the result of that election last week was unexpected. Some persons say they expected it. Some call it unprecedented, but we know that for a number of persons, specifically in the People's National Movement, they may not have been expecting such a wipeout. So this morning, I want you ladies to tell us, how do you feel about the result? What was your initial reaction? Were you expecting that type of result on a national level, not just in Tobago?
You want any one of us?
Yeah,
okay. Well, good morning again. For me, I was expecting it already. So, because I always have a feeling before the election, because for the 4 years I've learned, as I said in all my elections, I never lost. I always win and learn. Right. Because I still have my humanity, I still have my integrity, and I also have the ability to continue to work for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So when I say learn now, I've took that 4 years entering politics to understand the citizenry of Tobago especially, and how they think and what they vote on. And by walking around on the ground, it would have led me to think, okay, good, by just how people responding, they were voting on hate, they were voting on revenge, they were voting because they wasn't getting what they're supposed to get, and people were voting for back pay. So it look like back pain right now. Right. But you know, I would not have not expected it, and I have expected the results, and I've come to accept and respect the results as it is. And unity of the people have always respected the results, because at the end of the day, when the citizens speak, we respond and we reciprocate according to.
Understood. And there are the persons who might be saying, Nkosi, how much times would you go up for elections and be unsuccessful? At this point, you're just wasting your money. Persons are not ready to vote for anything outside of the two-party system. And we've seen it on the national level that the independents, as well as those third or smaller political entities, have not been doing well.
And I would like to reciprocate again. I don't waste money, because at the end of the day, I can stand up bravely and say I do more than the MPs elected and the Tobago House of Assembly elected members in office. And when that happens, I will contest. How much time did Joe Biden went to elections and didn't get in? How much time did other officials, and Mr. Rowley did the same thing as well? So at the end of the day, it is not about me losing. It is not about me wasting time. It is about the people understanding with their lack of knowledge as to what proper representation is about. Because at this point in time, you can't say you're coming to call me for help or to come and get assistance when you have elected persons in office who don't do anything for you. So unity of the people has never lost anything. We have been putting ourselves out there internationally, and the international relation officer will talk about the projects and things that we have out there. I have set the bar for unity of the people to be internationally recognized. We are now on the Black Paper Order as the first political party in the CARICOM nation to be recognized at the United Nations on the Black Paper Order, and we are recognized internationally as a minority voice. So I have done excellently well internationally, and it is just for the people here now to recognize the work that I'm doing, which I will never recognize, because they will just continue to look at that image, and that's fine by me. But at the end of the day, it would not stop me from contesting every single election, and I rather put my money there in the treasury than to put it into somebody's hands who just continue to say, oh, I vote for you now, just to get something from me. And at the end of the day, I never lost. We never lost. Unity of the people have stood strong. We continue to grow, and time will happen, and time will come when they will kick that bucket and so go with fed up, because look at the condition of Tobago already, and look at they started to talk about back pain and how much money in the treasury already. So at the end of the day, they have 5 years now to deal with what is before them, and they also have to deal with whatever is in the Tobago space. So,
And Ms. Cruikshank, there are persons who say, you know, when we hear unity of the people and when we hear Nkosi talk, we think that you have excellent ideas and you're going in the right direction, but why don't you just partner with one of the big or existing parties? Can you speak to that?
Because history, you see it as it is. They have been in existence. The country is over 60 years old. The same things have been happening. If you don't learn from it, you're doomed to repeat it. People live in the willful ignorance of it. And you asked just now why Nkosi keeps going up for election. What are you going to fight for? Nkosi lives here. I live here. This is where our communities lie. Who is responsible for building our resources here? Yes, there's two parties that predominantly led our nation in different aspects, but equally, we have to somebody has to hold them accountable. The people, education, if that is what is necessary, that is what we have to do. It's not a matter of win or lose, it's future. We have generations to come before us. Anything that we do contributes to that.
And I would have spoken to the former MP for Tobago East last year, and she indicated that you would have come to her and gotten funding for some of the projects that you were doing. So can you tell us about some of those projects that you guys have been embarking on and the type of support that you have been getting?
Well, for one of the things, apart from it being just local, Nkosi tends to be on the ground more or less. I happen to be international at the moment, and I took the opportunity to meet. I don't believe in networking. I believe in relationships with people. When we meet other countries and we do all these summits or we meet different forums, we are representing Trinidad and Tobago regardless of if we are sponsored or not. We ask because at the end of the day, I work a 36-hour work week. Nkosi same. So at the end of the day, we need help and we will ask for sponsorship from the government, from whichever avenue when we can. And it is always welcome because money makes things happen as well. So it's just to make the opportunity. And so far, we have international relations now with African countries, almost 14 of them.
And going more.
To access the list by
the whole African Union, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And what type of work are you doing with them outside of Tobago? What is the nature of the work that's being done?
Well, in regards to the work, I'm doing policies for the African nation in terms of gender policies, in terms of social development of the young people. We're looking at education. So it depends on, I'm building these policies for their nations for the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2030. We're working on partnerships also to bring them in the country. We're looking at, I'm supposed to hold one of the summits here in July, and I don't want to talk too much on it because I want to put a surprise, but I want to put all the entrepreneurs, all the small business and the guest houses on hold, on notice that something big is going to happen, as I've always done, bringing the partnership here. I'm trying to bring the relationship to Tobago, especially looking at how the tourism factor has died. I'm doing a lot of partnerships in regards to building the relationship for Tobago. A lot of these places don't even know where Tobago is, and they still think that Trinidad is Jamaica. And that is the reason why I keep on asking the question: what is the purpose of our ambassadors or of the U.S. Embassy or the Trinidad and Tobago Embassy in the consulate? What are the purpose? Because if people at this point in time at the United Nations level still don't know where Trinidad and Tobago is or what is Tobago actually, something has to be wrong. So the partnerships that we're building is not for partnerships for unity of the people or TTU to rise. It is to bring Tobago in that forum where investment can come, foreign trade can come. We want to do right now, I'm looking at partnership in terms of the cultural aspect. The president or the minister of Sierra Leone and the president, they would have invited me on their African diaspora to do policies and things to do intercultural exchange in terms of the dancing and the culture, because they didn't know about the steel pan and stuff. So what I'm trying to do right now is to merge those African cultures to Tobago and to bring the investment to our young entrepreneurs and the guest houses.
And what about the persons who might say, well, maybe step away from politics and just do the work and engage a number of young persons, because there might be young persons who are interested in some of the work that you are doing, but there is a stigma that's attached when it comes to politics. Persons often want to stay away from what they deem to be political affiliation and may just rather doing the work at a community level, at the NGO level, at the non-profit organization level, because there is that idea for a lot of young persons as well that they don't want to be politically branded. How do you engage young persons to get involved in helping?
Let me just add before Nikosi are done. I had the same discussion with Nikosi time and time again, because for me, the political aspect, as you say, has that stigma associated with it. And the thing that win me over where Nikosi is concerned is because I met Nikosi through community-based initiatives. And I believe one wonders fill basket, to be honest, in my approach as contributing to Nikosi's purpose. I say to myself, that is how I get young people to come on board, because politics has its own realm and language and all of that. Most young people are not engaged on that level. The communication for us, I take our approach, is using what we use, the language we use for young people to engage and what excites them and what is interesting in that, because the young people I deal with now internationally, we made our own group apart from the initial organizations because they don't speak the same language. They talk about the politics and the policies, but the young people have the initiatives, the energy, the drive. So to me, that is what works internationally now, that we have, when we introduce policies and when we write the we take on a lot of the workload that the adults in this situation does, because the reports are done by the young people. We take their views and we kind of shape it differently so that it meets a different marketing.
Right. And how can young persons get involved in this type of policy shaping work and, including some of their ideas for nation building, regional building, into some of those international discussions? How can they get involved in that?
We have the organization TTH Will Rise. We have our Facebook page. We have the contact number. We used to work on the centers. But I'm being real talk about manners, the politics. When I'm doing something good, they always try to block you. And that's what they have been doing for the longest. But that's why I stepped into the political realm, because the programs are there to be done, but they stifle me with finances, they stifle me with the buildings and all these nonsense. So therefore, politics, people can say, let me step away to go. Yeah, I have to elevate myself. And at the end of the day, if my voice can be stronger in the political realm, it will. And trust me, I will be a force to reckon with if given the chance, because at the end of the day, I'm not going in parliament to draw a salary. I'm going to work and to represent. People just have to be out of their shells. And it's not a matter of stigma of politics and mixing it. Let me just be real. They just don't like me. And they will never like me because of my lifestyle or whatever it is. And I'm not going to get into that. But at the end of the day, if you don't wake up now, you're not going to smell the coffee, because out there I am being treated and respected for the work that I do. People see me and judge me for my work and my words. But at the end of the day, people judge me based on an image and they're still not getting nowhere. Your country's still in a limbo, your tourism dead, everything is dead, and people need to get out of that. But then again, you can't judge somebody when you can't cast a stone. And I am going to continue to work on board. When I at the United Nations, I represent as the ambassador to TTH Will Rise, and I leave it as that. When I'm supposed to act in politics, if I don't have the other representatives, I say, listen, and according to the diplomatic meetings, if they need me to be political, I will act as a political leader, and I will ask the others. That's why I carry a contingent. They will act in the interest of the TTH Will Rise, and I will act in the only interest of the political leader. And that's how it is. I have separated, and I could separate, and our organization is good. The persons who are on board right now, they are doing very good. Most of them right now, we have some of the executives leaving on June the 1st. Some of my candidates for the elections, gone, the 9 of them, they're leaving on June the 1st to take up roles at the United Nations and other foreign countries. One of my candidates who went up for Trinidad, Miss Afia, she's getting in the best diplomats. I get her into it. And I'm making sure that everybody who surrounds themselves with me gets something greater than Trinidad and Tobago, because there's a lot of fight down here. And people just zipping them out and only talking when they're not supposed to. I'm not doing that. Persons who support me and support the interest of getting themselves elevated, I will push them forward. And that is all I'm about.
And okay, I have also been a part of a number of international experiences, and I know that persons like yourself often get a lot of opportunity to speak on behalf of minority groups. As a matter of fact, even more than the average person, you know, you are at the forefront because of the larger agenda as it pertains to gender equality, minority, and inclusivity. And even as the United Nations moves towards a greater level of inclusivity, persons that identify as trans and, you know, within that community are often given a voice. But persons might say, okay, if this is the case, what are you still doing in Tobago?
Because let me answer though. And let me take it. One, and I'm going to make this abundantly clear for the 500 million times again for the last time. I am not a part of any community. I answer to God and God only. And at the end of the day, whatever I choose, it is my rights, and it is whatever I'm going through. One is medically, and it's my right. I am not a part of any community. When I go out there to represent, I do not represent any the alphabet community, whatever they call them. No offense taken to them. Right. I do not speak to them. I speak on behalf of TT Youth Will Rise. I speak on behalf of the interests of our young people and how to develop our young people, of how to develop our single mothers or special mothers. I speak on behalf of those things. I do not represent that community. They have their people, they have their hidden agendas, they have the people in high places who have a hidden agenda, and I'm going to make it abundantly clear. People keep on coming up with that stupid topic, and I'm going to level them and level the playing field when they come at me. That no disrespect. I know you have to ask, right? If all of us leave Trinidad and Tobago and go and better other nations, what will happen to Trinidad and Tobago? I have young nieces and nephews coming up, and I have to also foster a stairway for them to get their future ahead. And I'm setting the goal, I'm setting the bar where they can have things to focus on and to develop themselves. And I'm trying to develop our country, because it is so unfair. Sometimes I really cry that I have to go and do policies to build other nations when I could be doing the policies here and doing the programs here. Something is totally wrong. It has to be mentally wrong that the people here. So I'm doing so great. I'm getting paid for my policies, and the peshitos are coming in really good. But at the end of the day, I'm still hurt because I want to build Trinidad and Tobago. But because of the mentality and the level of stupidity of some people and the ignorance of education and the fact of that, people need to drink water and mind their business.
Right. And even as it pertains to being able to work along with the current administration and even new central government, are you looking forward to possibly a new day as it relates to government really taking the work that you are doing seriously?
Well, I have a very good relationship with some of the members of the UNC cabinet, so I've already start to, link with them. I told the executive team, you need to have the people who are doing a research right now in terms of how do we approach going forward. We're trying to rebuild our executive, and I also asked my secretaries to write all the ministries and let us see if we can have a meeting with them on each of them to have, because the rebuilding a country, it talks about inclusion, and I want to make sure that as a political leader, I don't oppose everything that the government do, but actually work with them. And if they see that they're not doing the work, then I will oppose. So I've asked my general secretary to write all the different various ministries. I've also asked to write the prime minister to meet with her and see where we can help. And I think that is where the politics is supposed to be about inclusion. I really would have liked to see if they talk about inclusion and working with alongside Trinidad and Tobago as a government coming into office. I would have liked to see one of the seats of the Tobago candidates fill in the cabinet, because that is where the decisions are made, and that's the next topic by itself. But at the end of the day, when we talk about inclusion, nobody's supposed to be left behind. There are other political parties in the political space and the diaspora. Why is it we're seeing Tom, Duck and Harry, cat and dog in these ceremonies, and we're not seeing the other political leaders there? That is what you talk about inclusion. That is what you talk about incorporation. I don't know if you have anything to add in regards to unity of the people in regards to our development going forward. But
yes, because we are a bit strapped for time. So moving forward, what can we look forward to from the unity of the people as well as TT Youth Will Rise?
The expectation of having a new government as well, and because it's so diverse now, based on the very good circumstances, I see it as a good thing. It always have an option for growth. It always have an option for unity of people. That is why we have an election process. That is what democracy is supposed to be. I don't understand why it's always a matter of us against them. It is all of us. We all live on this same little spot. God bless it. That is what the intentions are. So where unity of the people, we will always be for what is right for Trinidad and Tobago, what is best interest for Trinidad and Tobago. Who we have to liaise with for that is necessary. It's not a matter of what we feel. We don't approach it like that. So from going forward, we have new opportunities to build new relationships within our government to make it better. If we could bridge gaps between some of them, because that happens too, we can do that. It is always a possibility, and that is what it should be, and that is always should be the message at the forefront.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you so much for giving us your time this morning. I wish we had a little bit more time to get into some of those international projects. But again, for the young persons who are looking on and interested in being a part of some of those projects, they can find you at TT Youth Will Rise on
Yes,
Facebook.
or 2975667. And they can find me in Boko. The Amos at the center. We have information leaflets at the center as well. And I have a lot of things in store for Tobago, a lot of things in store. And we are going to make it happen with or without sponsorship or support. It is all for the development of our young people, and look forward for great things to come.
I look forward to that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the discussion this morning. I want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a great day.